And here we do a real jump. Um, we're in 1988, and I find it interesting that um, there was quite a dry spell here, actually, where I was really writing very little, and I really think that the whole reason a lot of it had to do with was I was so distracted by everything that was going on. It was just becoming more and more of a problematic in my life, I guess. And one other thing I should mention is that it was in 1986 that I decided to start up a business on my own, and what I did is I decided to become carpet cleaning because I have that background with working with my dad. And what I did is it was in 1986 that I went. First of all, I went and bought a little machine for. Uh, I went to Sears and I had a Sears card. I put it on the Sears card. It was like $300 or something. It was a Bissell something or other. And I thought, okay, I'll start doing some carpet cleaning here and there. And I quickly realized it really wasn't going to work at all. It was a real little toy, although it did furniture okay. And then when I actually started the carpet cleaning business, we did actually use these little machines for a little while anyway. But the first one was that I bought myself on my credit card, and um, but I really didn't have a machine. But my dad had his machines, he wasn't actually doing his business anymore. It kind of petered out, and he was working at a camp at the time. So I went to him and I said I knew that he had his old carpet cleaning machines still. Um, they were called the Von Schroeder dry foam machine. And I went to him. I said, Dad, can I use your machines? I want to do carpet cleaning. And he says, well, actually, they're in pieces and you can't use them. But I do have this other system, which was it's a the host system. It's a powder system. And he said, that'll work pretty well for you. You can take that one of those machines. And he said, but there's a catch. And he said, the only way I'll let you have the machine is you have to take on your brother, Steve, as your partner. I had no intention of doing that initially, but I didn't really have a choice because, yeah, my dad would let me have the machine. But so my brother, who was actually basically unemployed at the time, came on board, and we started doing the carpet cleaning pretty quickly. And one of the things I would do was I rode a motorbike all the time, and I'd ride my motorbike to work. Um, I'd leave an hour or so early. I go and deliver flyers, and that sort of helped to get the things going. And then while I was working at my job, because I was doing this the idea was doing this on the side, and my brother, who wasn't employed, he was able to do the jobs when they came in almost right away. But very quickly it became quite clear that this partnership really wasn't a partnership, and he was kind of making decisions that, well, I had nothing to didn't even ask me or talk to me about it, so that's not much of a partnership. And you know, going and buying a very one of the first cell phones, I think it was that little suitcase one. It was like $3,000 or something, just ridiculous. And other things that went on. And my dad actually, there was a really old Volkswagen van that was at the camp where my dad worked, and we were borrowing that with that to initially start off. And anyway, the partnership, I don't remember how long we went on for. I did actually quit my job within a few months, I think 6 months or so. I quit my job. I was working at an appliance store, a parts person. Partly the main reason was I wanted to, because I needed to get my hands on the carpet cleaning because it was really spiraling out of control. So I had this issue with my brother and the partnership that really he was running away with things and doing things that making decisions that were having a big effect on what was going on, but I didn't have any say in it. So basically, it was kind of taking the whole thing over. Then I tried to, when I quit my job, I tried to be more involved. But then the other issue that was happening is that if I went and tried to do anything on the side, when like on a Saturday or whatever, my wife was just freaking out at me, even though she never stayed at home ever. um, Literally, when I'd go to work, we had a mobile home, and that's a whole other story that she and her mother insisted that we buy, and I didn't want to do that because it was going to be on the church property and it was money loaned from them. It was just financially a really bad idea, and it turned out to be a total loss in the end, and led to other problems too. Um, but anyway, I'd leave for work in the morning, and she'd hop in her car, and the car or whatever and go over to her mom's. She spent her whole day at her mom's. She was never at home. I mean, literally never at home. I don't think there was. The only time that I remember her actually being at home was the day that I came home after the event that happened in 1985, and there she was waiting for me. It's like, oh, she's home. That was a bad day. But anyway, yeah, no, literally she was never there. Literally, my dad said that when he dropped me off when I was working with the business, he said, because he started working in the business too again. He said when he dropped me off at the end of the day, and we drive in the driveway, and the vehicle wasn't there. He said the look of disappointment on my face, because it was all the time. It was just a joke. But anyway, so now to 1988, and this song, I really like this song. This is a upbeat song, and I guess I'm feeling pretty good these days. This was sort of a lull between the storm time, I guess, and it's called "I Lift Up My Soul." And I actually did have a young friend of ours, a young lady, came over and she helped me out a little bit with this. I think she helped me a little bit with the melody. I was still playing the guitar; she wasn't playing an instrument, and she sang really nicely. So there was a bit of collaboration. Is that the word? With Shelley was her name. I think her last name was Peterson. Anyway, this is I think the only song I ever wrote where somebody else had any input into it. Yeah, I think she helped me out a little bit with the melody, so I appreciated that. Anyway, I lift up my soul. Bring joy to your servant, for to you, oh Lord, I lift up my soul. You are kind and forgiving, oh Lord, abounding in love to all who call on your name. I lift up my soul. I lift up my soul. Give it to my prayer and give him, oh Lord, I call on your name. There is none other like you, oh Lord. I glorify you. All nations shall worship before you. I lift up my soul. I lift up my soul. Here, deep in my heart, I enthrone you, oh Lord. I surrender my will. I have learned to trust you, oh Lord. You're faithful to me. I forever will praise you. I lift up my soul. I lift up my soul. Bring joy to your servant, for to you, oh Lord, I lift up my soul. You are kind and forgiving, oh Lord, abounding in love. On your name, I lift up my soul. soul.